the bottom of the pop can, and if you had a bright summer day, you're going to focus that and start a fire. Well, there's a wonderful TV show called Mythbusters. The kids love it. They actually tried it. It took them days to get it going with an articulated hand holding the thing. It's silly stuff. There's Ready.gov. Got some great stuff. Water purification and preparation. One of the books I just read puts your water in like a 1 liter container and put it on the roof. The sun's rays will take care of it. You really want to think about some of this stuff. As far as search and rescue goes, I'll tell you that we have 100 volunteers roughly. We work with a paid staff of about 4 deputies and the head guy, lieutenant. We're probably one of the busiest SAR teams in the state. In 2009, I think we had 20,000 mission hours. Last year we broke over 30,000. We did a mission with I think it was Lynn County and the Lori Blaylock search recently. This was the gal who died. We think her husband put her body in the North Sandy End. Our members talked to some folks from over on the west side. They had just had their first mission in 10 months. Well, here we are, we're over 100 missions right now. So we're very busy. Our principal customer base, think about carrying the 10 essentials: water, sunscreen, all the things you should have in your back pocket or your pack when you're going to go on a day trip in the backcountry. If you want to see where our customer base is, go up to the trailhead, Devil's Lake Trailhead, on a July day, and watch how prepared people are going up into the backcountry. One out of Devil's Lake that takes you up to the Three Sisters. We had a really cool family go up last year, and it was 75, 80 degrees at the trailhead. At 1 in the morning, when we finally reached them, it was around 25 degrees at 10,000 feet. And they were on a glacier. They had flat-soled tennis shoes on, t-shirts, hoodies, some snack food, a little bit of water. So they contacted us. The 20-year-old son, what does he do? He's Facebooking. The unintended consequence was grandmother just about had a heart attack. Okay. And then grandmother is in the son's knickers. So what does the son do? Well, he finally got through 911, but nevertheless. Interesting quote. So, proper preparation is key.
You want to mention the Black Butte when you were going around with evacuating?
Yeah, that's the community of Black Butte, if you haven't been through there, it's just some gorgeous, gorgeous homes. When you talk about, defensible space, lots of trees. But what Search and Rescue does is we've mapped out the complete community. We bring our volunteers in on foot, in car, and ATVs, and we're knocking on doors and make sure that everybody's out. So, all right, that's all I've got.
Well, I'd like to open it up again. I want to make sure to get you out on time. Thank you for coming here tonight. So again, we've got a panel. If you've got any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Yes, ma'am.
I just was listening to you speaking on the BN television, because the television station out there, and I don't know if it was one of you folks or not, but they were talking about the earthquake problems that happen. Probably just like you were saying, the valley would be really bad, but they wondered how that would be here. And they were saying from what they're assuming, here one of our main things would be our highway structure. That like they would have trouble for a while getting trucks into us to bring more groceries and that type of thing, because probably the main thing here would be our roads would be torn up. And that really was an eye-opener to me. I thought, oh my gosh, what would you really do if you couldn't get in your car and go? I mean, I know you probably have trouble getting groceries out, but really even just to get into somebody's house or to help or get to your kids, or if you actually could not get in your car and go down the street. Maybe you have to really think even harder.
I think that's why we're all saying preparation is going to be worth a lot. If all the bridges go out, which is probable, think of the Crooked River out of Terrebonne. Nothing's going to come from the north that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Then, if coming from the west, if the pass has some slides, or on the North Sandy and South Sandy, there's a bunch of bridges. So just assume all those roads become impassable. Are we self-sufficient here in Deschutes County to be able to take care of ourselves with enough food and water for more than 3 days?
Yeah, that really makes you think even more when you think even just our streets right here in town to get, to get to where you need to, or to get over to your kid's house, or how long would it take a day to get someplace that would normally take you 20 minutes, or?
Yeah, the buy logo would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
Put some money, cash in your emergency kit as well, because with the electricity down, all the other things, credit cards, debit cards will all be useless.
What about the people out in Deschutes River Woods, what do they feel?
What's
What are
that?
their exit? That they're probably gonna get cut off by landslides and such, wouldn't they?
Deschutes River Woods.
Yeah.
We have evacuation plans there and a very active homeowners group that is trying really hard to bring every individual landowner there up to the state recommended standards for defensible space and increase the involvement. They have 2,600 homes and about 6,000 people in Deschutes River Woods. And it's, in fact, John Weber and Sheriff and police conducted an emergency evacuation drill. Do you remember being part of that thing?
Yeah.
It was 2 or 3 years ago, with a fire scenario coming up the river. Where would you go door to door? Which you might have an evacuation route that you think you would take, but what if it's cut off for whatever reason? So they do practice those drills. The cut is high on the list of catastrophic loss worries in my mind, and I would assume other folks in the catastrophe business.
Ms. Long.
Got a couple of questions, one for Tom. Can donations to the Red Cross be targeted to your Get Organ Ready program?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, that's good to know. Next thing is, I live in Eagle Crest, and I've already signed up 9 people to form a community emergency response team. But I'm looking for help as to, what basically kind of what questions they ask. So I know we have in the literature, but there's...
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up. Ben, the Red Cross is sponsoring the Brookswood Meadow Plaza, which is in Southern Bend. Preparedness Expo, June 11th. Saturday, June 11th.
I'll be there. Any information and
It's our first experiment with trying to get to provide the skills for neighborhoods to start to plan. We're going to have maps of parts of cities. We've got a checklist. You can go around with your neighbors to check stuff out. We're going to have some homeowners associations there to see if any of them to collect their own members, that kind of stuff. Preparedness Expo, June 11th, Brookswood Meadow Plaza.
Is that on your website?
It's on our website.
if there's a group in Redmond, your group, a couple of them to go, you might be able to get a Redmond contingency.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Another thing is Don Weber. Don Weber has a great aid
Map your neighborhood.
to help any neighborhood. It's a guide to how to map a neighborhood for citizens with their own neighborhood. But Don Weber is in the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office, and he's in charge of emergency.
County emergency coordinator, the master of
County
disaster.
And then it'll be next Monday, meeting 6:15 on that stretch. These are entire program.
Okay, June 11th is going to be where?
At Brookswood Meadow Plaza, which is south of Bend. What was the neighborhood? Yeah, but it's not close to the neighborhood you're talking to DSR or whatever.
Oh, DRW.
And again, if you've got your emails on here, I will make sure that you get all of that information specifically as a reminder.
Yeah, because I have, in the neighborhood that I live in, I would say a good percentage, more so, I have senior citizens more than I have young people. So I would really appreciate the listing of how to check for them so that I can give it to them. This is what we need to do for you, and here's my number, or here's where you can
Well, I got those map your neighborhoods, I put it on a CD disc for you, and again, just
They're very
share the
user
information.
friendly. Don Weber will have some next
Right.
week at Highlands Baptist.
Have you as Highland Baptist and your member contacted other churches and communities in what they're doing, letting them know?
No, not yet. In fact, I just sat down with the fire chief last week. I didn't even really know where he was going with it, so I wanted to make sure that we were going with his plan. So
No,
I think that's a good idea.
It's just that, a number of congregations in the community know in every case what their most vulnerable and their people who need help, probably as well as any single entity in the community knows how to identify those people. If there's a coordinated effort amongst the churches to have that game plan in place for themselves and then with each other, I think that makes it.
Well, not only that, it's an entire network because people who may not attend that church do. I mean, you guys know Woody Woodson, he goes to the church, he knows everybody.
And you can assume the Ministerial Association is going to talk about this in coordination with nonprofits and the publics, the Don Webers and the fire. If there's a natural affinity because it's caring for folks.
Were you guys looking for Don Weber's number? I can give it to you, just make sure you say, hey, you gave it out. There. Did you guys want that? Or do you have it?
Don Weber.
Don Weber's phone number, 617-3303.
Say it again.
617-3303. So you got it from King.
Come meet it next month.
That's not
Young people about the recycling every moment. Talk about, getting actually carriers are this local school system on board as far as trying to do that also.
Well, I happen to be a member of the school board, and the 7,000 people there, yes. I looked at our plans, they're way out of date, and that's why I said I've got to help spearhead this. I'm just one of, there's tremendous talent, obviously, there's a lot here in this audience. We're just connecting the dots, and we're going to be connecting resources to develop. But yes, we're not there. We're not there. But I would like to say in closing, if you want to grab one of these flyers, Dave, do you know when we'll be able to have this online? We've got captiveonline.org.
2 days.
In 2 days, 48 hours, so 72 hours, no more than that. If you have any neighbors who want to see the presentation that they weren't able to come tonight, that's one of the things we want to do, is to start a digital library so people can start looking at this and passing out the information. And if you have any questions, again, thank you, Tracy, for recording the ones that were brought up today. We want to make a point of doing a frequently asked question database and making sure that gets out to the community. And any other recommendations, suggestions, we're here to help one another. Yes, ma'am.
The neighborhood that I live in has like 5 little schools, little elementary and junior high schools. Is there any way, to volunteer? I would be more than willing to go into those schools and talk to those kids or go with somebody and do it so that we
We're in
can.
this class, kind of in the curriculum, to make them aware. We are working on that. We've got the green light from the superintendent. We're going to be working on how we can, so again, because instructional time is so critical, we're going to the health and PE curriculum in terms of the first aid and to make sure there is a curriculum instructional piece, but that, again, they can bring that message home to the parents. So, but it's probably not going to, we're doing a pilot. We're doing a pilot with 2 classes at the high school and 2 first aid at the high school. Depending on the feedback we get from that, hopefully by September we'll have something that we'll be able to start. And if you'll highlight your name, I'll put you down there as one of our potential instructors. But we'd love to have you join up because you obviously have a lot of resources we can use.
Also, for the Red Cross, my current CPR card and first aid card are expired. When's the next class?
First of all, you need to get permission from your mom. I can give you a phone number.
I give you permission for that.
I'm kidding, I can give you a phone number.
Okay. Yeah, driving school bus for a number of
Because
years.
there's some new protocols.
The level just recertified.
Can I quickly add on to that? I think CPR in the basic first aid class is a great thing to do. But when you start talking about subduction zone, 17% of people are prepared, you know, you ought to really take a look at some of the classes at the next step up, like wilderness first aid. It's $155. It's done fairly frequently in our area. There's another organization, National Outdoor Leadership School, that's the hiker hunter crowd. That class is $200 or more. So Red Cross on them, a very affordable class. This is where you're going to really get into, you know, some patient assessment, bandaging, quick clot, stuff like that. So.
The reason is, in this kind of event, 911 won't work, there's no quick response from a professional coming. So we're on our own block. And the wilderness first aid class is geared for that kind of scenario.
I have a tote box this big by this big that's full of emergency medical supplies. Everything from arm split to leg split to foot split. I mean, you know, things that you have that you just don't throw away.
Well, again, we are 8 minutes past our time. I promise you to get you out back to your busy, busy lives. Thank you so much. Please pass the word again. Anybody that would like to do this, thank you, and let's.
Thanks.